Hope you're doing as good as I'm doing today. Physically, we are feeling a 7.5. It's a very solid day. The squats actually felt better than the other day, even though it was the same weight and the same reps and sets. But I guess my core was just primed as shit from the clean and jerk day yesterday. And then mentally, man, I don't even know. I can't tell if I'm higher or not. I'm gonna put it at a 7.3 because I don't think I feel very synced today, but I'm much more chilled out. Like, I'm not like hyped up as much as I could be. It was kind of just like I'm just gonna lift the weights kind of day, enjoying myself, not thinking too much about it, which in its own way is also great. But yeah, no, not enough to go down the whole 0.5, but just slightly more physically capable than my mental energy, my willingness to throw my body under the bar. But I didn't have a whole lot I was thinking about today because of the slightly reduced mental energy. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about something that I've been experiencing a little bit around other people, especially when it comes to Jesus Christ, that guy's car's loud. Just whenever I'm interacting with friends, they're just, you hear that shit? God damn. They must be highly sexually active. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry for the sidetrack. I experience this a lot when it comes to my friends, family, myself, just any people in my interactive daily life. There's a constant worry or question of how much you need to be working and how much you need to be stressing about your future. And so I thought it'd be a good topic to bring up on how people, I feel like so many people rush through happiness. And not saying that people willingly or forcibly do this without I'm sure that they wouldn't tell people that they rushed through a happy time without realizing it until later. But what I mean by that is you can have everything going really well, even if you're not as successful as you may view yourself in the future. And because you're focused so much on that future self of you, you can drag down your current happiness by thinking, oh, I should be stressed out way more because I'm not exactly where I thought I'd be. And I am personally a very, very firm believer that you need to preserve that happiness in the sense of you don't need to change if you're happy. Change is great. I think people should always conform to change, whether it's personal or whatever. I guess everything kind of stems from it being personal, regardless if it's social or cultural. But mostly personally, I think everybody should conform to what their life needs in order to be happy, even if it seems negative at first. And there's a constant mistake I see happen. Again, I've been through it, I do it, and you never realize it until right after you rush through that happiness that you should have probably chilled out a little bit and just taken your time. People don't think of how long they have in this life. It feels like everything's got to happen right now, especially because you have the older generation looming over you, whether it's your parents or just coworkers or people that are just older than you in general. And you see them and you're like, damn, I should just be there now because that's what I want to do. And it's no, you got to take the steps necessary to get there. But it's so important to take life at your own pace. There's no rush. You're not going to die, I promise. I know some people are afraid of dying tomorrow or say that they should live like they're going to die tomorrow, but that's just stupid. You should live every day like you're going to be completely fine, because there's no point thinking about death, because it's going to happen when it happens. And if you're worried about it when it happens, it'll be twice as bad as it would have been otherwise, and you wouldn't be enjoying your life in the present. But my main point, I suppose, is because I'm kind of sidetracking. It gets to me a little bit. I have very close friends of mine that I want to see the best for. And I'm sure some other people may be in the situation where you see them worry so much about their future instead of taking care of themselves in the present right now. And it can lead to them expressing their current negativity over their daily schedule onto others, if not onto themselves. And it's sad to see, because it's all a matter of experience and emotional maturity. Not saying that you're childish, but just everybody has a different level of mental stuff that they can handle, whether they realize that or not. And no matter how much of the best that you want for someone else, they have to go through it themselves in order to truly experience that change for the better. And so a lot of people will just force themselves to work twice as hard as they need to, or make twice as money as they need to, even if they don't want to, or it's not required for their survival. I get some people thrive in life off of seeing the money sign go up. That's fine. But, if you're forcing yourself to earn more, work more, exert your personal efforts beyond their limits all the time, and you're doing it for the sake of other people are doing it, or other people told you to do it, it's just like, it's just stupid. It's not to be a dick. Like, I don't mean what you're doing is stupid, but it seems redundant. You want to enjoy this life to the fullest, and everybody's so worried on how their future self is going to be doing instead of enjoying the life they got now. This is such a big topic that comes up all the time, where the younger generations, especially when you get out of high school, will stop enjoying their lives as much. Or like the memes you'll see where it's like, oh, college was like the top of my life, and then everybody in our generation is all fucked up now in college because everybody's too worried about money and everything. It's like, it's valid, it's not like those worries don't just come out of nowhere. Inflation's crazy nowadays, and it's getting more expensive every day. But there needs to be a line that you draw for yourself to where you can live your daily life happily with no regrets, while also not forcing yourself to fully bank your happiness on the future. Like, if you want to go be a doctor, great. I get there's a lot of steps that it takes to get there. Like, I'll use my own personal experience. I'm in psychology. The main thing is I just want to help people. I feel like I'm good at talking to people. I feel like I have got my own head on straight, so I can put a lot of my own personal energy into other people and their health, whether it's mental or physical. But even though I could be doing more right now, I am at a point where I'm very happy with what I'm doing in my daily life. And it feels as though adding on to the daily stresses I already go through, or the daily occupational stuff I go through every day, it feels more of an obligation when you do it just for the sense of, oh, well, I gotta do it, so I guess I'm gonna do it. It's like, no, it's gotta be for you. It shouldn't be for anyone else. Even though I want to help other people, I want to help other people because I want to do it. It's still a selfish thought, even though it seems as though it's a selfless act, as contradictory as that might seem. I'm not saying I'm an egoist or whatever. I at least hope I'm not, what's it called? A narcissist. But my want to aid others comes from the selfish want of that. So again, like, I could be joining a bunch of clubs, just calling psychology offices and trying to get internships every day and stressing out about it. But I am happy right now. I'm making enough money to survive, and I don't need a lot more, and I don't feel the need to have more. That's the thing. It's like, I get if like everybody has their own standard money-wise for how much they think they need to survive, and you can have a higher standard, that's fine, if that's going to bring you personal happiness. But my standard's just a bit lower, so I don't have to. I put a little bit more effort into my social or gym life or just other stuff, rather than worrying about jobs all the time and my future. So I feel like when the opportunity comes, of course I'm going to jump at it. But even if it's just a little bit later than what other people do, whatever. I'm taking life at my own pace. Like, my girlfriend, for example, has no family, essentially. Of course she has family, but she's got no one in her personal life that is familial, that's around, or able to help in any way. And most of them, sadly, won't. It's just, some people just don't have family backing them up. And she's 21. She's in the middle of what should be her college years, but she's working her ass off, trying her best to just survive on her own in the first place. Shit, she already got her AA, so, like, hands off to her for even being able to do that in the first place with no help. But, you know, when you have no money, you either have to go into debt for years or you just wait it out until you can finally go back. And, you know, she, you know, decided, I'm going to give it some time. I want to save up some money and just see where it goes. Take it at her own pace. Even though she wanted to go to college and it wasn't exactly her own personal choice to get on to work more than school, it was her own personal belief that she would be happier saving up money and being in no debt rather than working all the time, going to school all the time while also making no money and also going into debt, you know? And now she's had this great opportunity to where she might move off and go get this awesome new job where it's going to pay enough money to where she can go back to college and not be in debt. And it's like, you can never expect when it's going to come. It's always going to be random when those opportunities that are life-changing happen. But you just have to keep pursuing those passions along the way while doing the minimum it takes to survive for your own self-preservation and personal happiness. And as long as you're consistent and you keep up with it and you do what you think is going to make you the best, that's, you know, when the opportunity comes, you're going to be ready, you know? It sucks because the opportunity might not come when you want it to, but when it does, as long as you're consistent with your passions and you're doing what you believe will make you a better person and a happier person, selfishly, that opportunity you will 100% be ready for, even if you don't think so. It's always going to be stressful. It's always going to be scary. It's always going to be worrisome, and you're going to probably think a lot more negatives than positives at first. But once you take that first step, it's insane how well humans can adapt if you're consistent in your daily life. So, I don't know. I feel like I ended up kind of going off in a different direction than what I originally thought I would, but that's why I do these in one take. I always got more in the dome than I set off to talk about. But, you know, don't rush that happiness. If you got a good daily life, even if other people are doing cooler stuff than you are when it comes to their success or their career, whatever. If you're happy, live that shit out. This is why, like, your childhood was so fun. You didn't have to pay bills. You just had to go to school, which was the bare minimum for you as a kid to survive. You just had to go to school and then come home and just play games and fuck around, you know? So, like, that's why I feel like people enjoyed their childhood so much more than their college life nowadays, because people are so worried about money and their future careers when, you know, in college you still have time to fuck around and go home and play games and go drink and shit. You can do whatever you want right now. So, you know, just take life at your own pace. Take your time. You got plenty of time. So even if people are always going to tell you there's never enough time in the world, there's only as little time as you make there out to be. You know, if you believe in your own personal life that you will have time to do it, then don't rush it. You know, it might sound a little laid back or lazy, but I've found the best personal happiness I've had through these mindsets. So I'm gonna just keep doing my thing, and if in a month I feel like I want to go get a job and go crazy on my psychology career, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. So that's all I got for today. Hope you have a good one otherwise.